So we want to now talk about the mobile future. There's three things to think about with the mobile future, just for the purpose of this lecture. One of them is what's going to happen with ChromeOS. So this is a trend that not too many people have fully put together yet. There's definitely been some articles on it, but essentially, right now, Google's Sundar Pichai runs apps, Chrome, and Android. That's a relatively recent development. Historically, if you follow the Chrome OS versus Android story, Google internally has thought of native apps as a little bit of a distraction that's kind of forced on it by, iOS's unexpected success. In fact, even native apps were forced on Apple itself because they wanted to do, mobile Safari for their web platform. This way they'd only have to build a browser and not have to support the entire App Store environment. That was actually an afterthought. It was 2008 before the iOS App Store launched. So native apps have been a successful, lucrative, big deal over the last 5 years. But with Apple kind of losing a step, now Google is going to probably push Chrome OS with Android. And the way that's likely going to happen is, and you can kind of read these links 0 through 5 to get some context, likely what's going to happen is many Android Java API calls are going to be rewritten in JavaScript. You're going to be able to use JavaScript to gain access to the Android hardware, and this will be a pretty big deal. And this is going to probably happen over the next 12 to 24 months as Android and Chrome OS start to merge. And this is a prediction. It's not 100%, but it's quite likely. If you do believe this prediction is likely, and you can click these links and take a look, it might be worth messing around with the Chrome Web Store, the Chromebook Pixel, and Google Drive apps and gaining a sense of what kinds of things you can build for Chrome OS. As a second technological trend that's worth paying attention to, there's something called the Internet of Things. And the basic concept is every item in the world gets an IP address or gets internet connectivity, from thermometers to locks to parking meters and so on and so forth. This is a great post over here that by Matt Turk on TechCrunch that has a summary of a lot of different Internet of Things type companies. Some of them are included really for completeness. I mean, is Honeywell really doing this type of stuff? But Googling these will give you a sense of the kinds of companies that are in this space. So this is sort of the future of mobile in some ways, because it's not just a smartphone or a tablet. It's a device that may be designed to be controlled from a smartphone or a tablet, or maybe it's just its own standalone thing and it just works over an internet connection. As for the third major area, it's worth digging into this concept of a quantified self. It's related to the Internet of Things, but whereas Internet of Things is sort of about taking all these little devices that control our daily world, from lights and parking meters to thermometers and locks, the quantified self is about measuring humans. So the mobile device is, for example, a armband that you wear around all day, or a portable glucose meter, or something of this kind. The reason this is a very interesting area is that right now it's possible to check the news on something going on the other side of the world, but not to see what's going on within one's own arm or leg or chest. And that's going to change. You can kind of get a sense of the sort of devices that are going on here if you click the Fitbit, Jawbone Up, and Scan Do Scout and whatnot. But this is a very interesting area because as more and more effort goes into quantified self, we're going to reinvent diagnosis. It's going to be something where you won't have to go to the doctor to get a test anymore. You just need to look down at a sensor in your smartphone. And the more inexpensive that becomes, that's how we're going to actually reinvent medicine. So this is a very important area. It's worth paying some attention to as one of the major three things in terms of where I think the mobile future is going.